talk with your shorts or pajamas and no one would know about it. After 25 years as a banker and in the corporate world, I can make everything sound very serious, even a fun-filled event like this. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, as they say, and I'm relying on the esteemed guests to help me with the fun factor today. That's Ekta and Pinky. We're all geared up for a scintillating conversation with two women who have been a trendsetter in their field of expertise. Ekta Kapoor and Pinky Reddy, a warm welcome. We also have with us the National President, Jahnavi Pookan, the governing body, the National Past Presidents, the Mumbai Past Chair, all the chapter chairs and floor members, Mumbai and Pan India. Special welcome to Kiran Gera, our National Past President and a founding chairperson of the Mumbai chapter. Flow Mumbai, we have played a great role in empowering women through sustainable livelihood. Entrepreneurship has always been an area of focus to provide financial independence. The initiative Swayam was started by the Mumbai chapter and was adopted as a national project. This year is no different, with a lot of emphasis on startups and encouraging more women to start their own initiatives. It is certainly not an easy path, but given the current job market, this is the way forward or the new normal. Our theme is reboot, reimagine, restart. We have aligned our mission this year with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. What is today's event all about? We wanted to start the year by showcasing women who have proved that there is no glass ceiling, and if there is one, we can break it with hard work, dedication, and passion. Quite frankly, by earning her stature in the industry single-handedly, Ekta Kapoor has become an example for the entire generation of women and a role model to the young creative minds. She has made it absolutely clear that to be truly successful, you need to find work that you are passionate about. Pinky Reddy, I don't believe that there's a single Flow member who does not know you, and it is a pleasure to have you with us. Pinky is an astute businesswoman, a great philanthropist, and most importantly, a past president of Flow. This event would have remained a dream and not seen the light of day without Vinitha Bimbet, who put this whole program together for us. Thank you, Vinitha. I would like to start the evening by requesting Jahnavi Pookan, our national president, to say a few words and address all of us, especially the Flow Mumbai chapter, for the first time. Jahnavi is a pioneer, an entrepreneur, and a co-founder of two national tourism award-winning companies. Her passion and drive to make a difference is seen in every step she takes and every move she makes. Jahnavi, over to you.
Thank you, Malu. A very good evening, Mumbai. Mumbai, the city of dreams and the city of the stars. I'm delighted to be here to welcome the two stars in our midst today, Ekta Kapoor and Pinky Reddy, on behalf of the 17 chapters of Pinky Flow that I represent as their president. In this new normal, Flow has quickly embraced technology, and our changed circumstances has in fact brought our 8,000 members closer from different corners of the country. Here I am from Assam with our Flow past president, Pinky Reddy from Hyderabad, and the other star, Ekta Kapoor from Mumbai. My congratulations to our Flow chairperson, Malu Natarajan and her team, making this happen and getting none other than our past president, Vinitha Bimbet, to moderate the show with all our chapters watching on Pan India. Ekta Kapoor, you have created and produced more than 130 Indian soap operas under your own banner, Balaji Telefilms. You are Christian, the Zarina of content, and you are barely in your 40s. We're looking forward to hearing all about that. Pinky Reddy, through you, Flow got to meet many celebrities of the silver screen and many other power women. As our past president, you are an integral part of Flow, and thank you for being in the show. The topic today could not have been more pertinent. The world has suddenly changed around us. It has been over 2 months and we stepped into a different world. We look forward to your perspectives. And for our past president, Vinita Bimbet, start the conversation. Look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinita. Thank you, Janapi. I'm now going to hand it over to Vinita, who is the current India chair for the India ASEAN Women's Business Forum and the past president of FLOW. Vinita, the stage is yours, and thank you very much for always being there for us.
Thank you, Malu, very much. Good evening, ladies. It's lovely to have you all here today. It promises to be a wonderful evening. Ekta Kapoor, storyteller, revolutionary producer, icon, TV Zarina, role model 2000s, a woman who marches to her own drumbeat. Welcome and thank you so much for joining us today. I know how busy you are. Pinky Reddy, entrepreneur, philanthropist, past president FLOW, the most glamorous grandmother ever. Thank you so much, Pinky. You know, without you, this would not have been possible. So I was thinking, ladies, that we could start with an icebreaker round. I'll just give you some words and, you know, you can give me a word that you associate with it very quickly. Very simple. So Pinky, your set of words first.
Oh my God. Why not Ekta first? Why me first? I put her on a spot.
I am stumped. But since I said you first, let's start with you. Food.
Huh?
Food.
Food, all kinds of foods. The COVID, the lockdown food, just overdose of food of late.
Airport.
Lockdown airport.
Fun.
Fun. Playing with my grandchildren. Nothing can be more fun than that.
And change.
Change. I think everyone's lives have been changed after the lockdown. I think it's a major change.
Absolutely. Okay, so now to our other guest, the lovely Ekta Kapoor. Ekta, your words. Love.
A constant endeavor.
Nice. Work.
Passion.
Travel.
Necessity. I'm not much of a travel person.
Technology, Ekta.
A large wave that I sometimes get drowned under and sometimes I overcome.
And the last word, which is relevant in all our lives, is COVID.
An adversity, show the strength of humanity, compassion, and sometimes opportunity.
Correct.
Nicely said, Ekta. Okay, two small questions. Pinky, you first, since I started with you. A woman who inspires you.
Women who inspires me.
Yeah, just a woman, one woman.
I think it's my mom, actually.
Nice.
My mom and my mother. Both of them are really inspiring because they're such busy people. And now the lockdown, you see them, how they have just acclimatized to the whole system and how they've like changed their whole mindset. I think it's amazing. It's a great learning from me.
Excellent. And Ekta, a woman who inspires you?
So I would say there are many women who inspire me, but I would put my mom at the top of the list, maybe because I've known her personally. A lot of women who inspire me are philanthropists, business women. Neetaji inspires me for the amount of work she's doing now in COVID also. And many such women, sometimes, like there's this woman called Gayatri, she's a watchman who works in my office. She inspires me because she's taken a male-dominated profession like guarding a building, and she does it with so much aplomb.
I like that. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's a lovely answer. Pinky, what does motherhood mean to you?
Motherhood is it's two sides to it. One is a passion. One is It's never ending. It's always there, and it's a very thankless job also. You know, it's extremely thankless. Parenting is not an easy job. Producing a baby is easiest. Parenting is very, very, very difficult. But it is something which you cannot say it's not possible. Everybody needs to have the parenting. It's the best.
All right. So I'm coming to you, Ekta. Now, what does motherhood mean to you?
So
I
have
know you
a
have a
baby.
little baby. Yes, he's 18
Yeah,
months old.
I did it through surrogacy, and like my brother, I did it through surrogacy. But my brother's a far better mother than I can be, and he's a fantastic parent. I need parenting in my house. So my brother's like, when you were finally, I was ready for a kid. I would have wanted you to marry two men because you would have to have somebody to parent you and the kid, and you're not even having one and deciding to have a child. So who's going to parent the both of you? So I said we'll parent each other. And that's how we are growing up together. I'm learning about motherhood. My child is learning, oh God, I don't have the perfect mother, but then why not tell our children that life is not Cinderella and fairy tales? I can't promise him perfection. I can promise him my best efforts, and he can't expect perfection, which actually makes him accept life as it is never perfect.
You know, that was my next question, because
No.
I think that there is a lot of beauty in imperfection.
I agree.
And I've heard you saying this before, that you're not a perfect mother. And I was very intrigued. And well, you answered the question that you want to do everything you can, but being perfect doesn't come easily. Pinky, what do you think about not being a perfect mother? Or do you think you are a perfect mother?
I am a perfect mother. Children don't think I'm a perfect mother. There's always different thoughts and different opinions about a perfect mother. What I like, my daughter would always say, I said, we have such a short, less age gap, so we're like friends. So she would say, no, mom, you're a mother and I'm the daughter. So there's nothing called perfect parenting. There's always a different thought about it.
You have two lovely children, and now you have two little grandchildren, Vaishnav and Shiv. And is there anything you think you would do differently that you did for the kids that you would not do for the grandchildren?
I think I was much more stricter with my children. They are more disciplined in picture, and I was much tougher. So now with the grandchildren, I think there's a little more leeway and a little more, like my grandson, he takes out all my, in my pantry, all my table mats and really good stuff. And he's building homes with my table mats. So my son was joking, saying, Mama, you really changed a lot. If we did this, you would have pasted us. But now your grandson's doing it, you're not saying anything. So I think grandchildren get away with a little more than what your children do. Because with the children, you're the bad cop. With the grandchildren, you don't want to be the bad cop because you just want to indulge them. The parents are there to take care of. That's the difference.
So,
but I don't spoil them. I definitely don't spoil them, but I definitely indulge them.
So, Ekta, I think you're going to have to be the bad cop. That's what Pinky's trying to say.
You have to be a bad cop, Ekta. I'm going to tell you right now.
No, I think my mom is still the bad cop for the rest of the house. And anyway, in our house, there are only dog children and grandchildren. We are no longer children.
Okay, now, ladies, we are going to come to the topic of the day, which is life in lockdown. And, I think that not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some of them come to clear your path. So do you think that COVID has cleared your path in any way? I mean, is there maybe, Ekta, is there a joy that you have discovered? Is there a silver lining in this cloud?
So, I'll just tell you something about myself. In my last 45 years, I have been working from the age of 18. There were times when I would not come home for 6 months. Like I would stay in the office. When I would come home, shower, go back. In the last 5 to 10 years, I don't think I've ever come home before 2 o'clock at night from work. when my son was born also, I would come home, make him sleep and go back to work and go out for dinner or do something. I had a public life, a social life. So everyone called me up in the last 45 days, like, how did you do this? I mean, this is like a nightmare come true for somebody as not outgoing. I don't go out that much, but as much who spends time in office, and I probably would sleep in my house at max, that many hours at home, 8 hours at max. And the silver lining I've discovered is that probably I've learned Jadu Pocha, although I have other stuff. And the silver lining is that I could actually realign myself to know that I can pass through this time. If I'm ever locked up in a house, I never thought I'd survive, and I have. That means there is more to me than what I thought I had. And the fact that I actually reworked a lot of my scripts because I had time to reanalyze my content gave me the time to, it's like this pause button which makes you reboot. So I felt rebooted.
So do you think you've actually grown as a daughter, maybe as a leader of people? Maybe there is a little more patience, or there is.
I think the biggest word I have discovered, I mean, I don't know about patience or as a leader, that all has been natural progression. But if you ask me, these last 63 days of lockdown have made me definitely far more passive aggressive than ever. I have this unbridled energy in me that makes me work harder through technology. Maybe I found ways, I found strategies. I think I've done my best work in the last years. I was at one show, and in fact, I was just giving an interview a few days ago. They're like, "You shut it." I said, "Yeah," and I'm reworking on it because I just decided it's time to unlearn and then learn, and we never have that time to unlearn. I got that.
Nice. And Pinky, what about you? Do you think that these 60 days or 45 days, I've even lost count?
To my luck, in fact, I feel, as Ekta says, I was telling somebody, I think, the whole world was going in a conquered speed. People had just lost it. They were just going in I think people have stopped thinking. Everybody's lives have become OTT. They're just forgetting all small things in life. People had forgotten how lives are, connections and family. They just forgot everything. I think God up there felt that there needs to be some kind of a speed breaker. So he just had this huge speed breaker and stopped everybody and started a restart button for the whole world. And I think it's done some wonders for lots of people. Lots of people have realized what life's all about. Even they've started valuing everything, every small pin is people are starting valuing it. People care about it earlier, but now it's really something which I think we needed this. We needed this restart.
At least we needed the lessons that we've learned. Like, I value just stepping out of my house now. Something that I really didn't want to do. I got into my car and went out. But just a simple walk is a pleasure today. And
exactly. And then for me, for the last 60 days, I was really lucky that my daughter was here in my place to have a second baby. She came in January and she was supposed to leave in March. But thanks to the lockdown, I had a bonus and she was locked down with me, with my two babies. So till 4 days ago, they were with me. So I was busy from morning 5:30 with the baby till night 9:30. With, half day with the kids and half day with the grandchildren and half day with my children. And my kids taught me how to play cards. That's something which I've never done. I've learned how to play, I don't even know how to hold 13 cards, and I've learned to play 21 cards.
Well done, Pinky.
and we used to play games, and we just chilling, hanging out. And my daughter and daughter-in-law started cooking, and they used to keep torturing me that, why aren't you cooking? I said, I'm just being like the grandmother and a mother-in-law, and everybody takes care of me. So I think I had a great time. And
nice. If Ekta, if you knew the lockdown was going to happen and you're going to be stuck at home for 50 days, what would you have done differently? Would you have maybe brought something home, or you would have prepared yourself, hunkered down to work from home, something?
So I think I would have shifted bag and baggage to office. And I have a lot of like-minded people like me who would have shifted with me and taken my kid also and gone. But otherwise, actually, if I had first, I would have had a mental breakdown. If I had known it would be like, I'm so happy they did this 15, 15, 15 days. Because the first time when I heard that 21 days lockdown, I went into depression for 2 days. I was like, I can't survive this. This is going to be tough for me. I'm a workaholic. How will I work? I don't know how to work through a Zoom call. It's on my scene. I like pace, interaction, content has to be discussed. And then you realize that, either the technology drowns you or you way over it. And I decided, come on, now this is the way, then this is the way. Let's all of us do it.
Nice. And, I've always felt that balance, work-life balance, the word balance, perfection, they equal to boring.
I don't know balance, man. It's a bad word for me. I don't know balance.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I think the natural imbalance that we have because we have to work too much, we can't give time to the children. I think it's a beauty. I mean, if you were always balanced and perfect, I mean, that would be really quite boring. But tell me, lives like yours, where so much has been achieved at such a young age, I think 18 or 19, when you really became a household word and entered everybody's homes with your serials and continue to do so. What do you wish for your son? I mean, I know he's very young.
Actually, when I started my career, every other star kid, something was expected of them. And they had lots of choices to either become to this film or that film. I was overweight and I don't know, maybe I didn't look my best. And I was not lots was expected from me. And I really didn't think too much of my future. I was like, okay, I just have a path today. And then I got a chance and I found my calling, and that made me hungry. I don't know how it all happened, but I think and when I got hungry, I realized that I have no choice. I mean, no one's gonna launch me. I started with drama. First, I put a pilot in the Z office. Then for drama, Hampanch is a comedy. Then for drama, I did a South Indian drama. And I realized I was hungry. I was hungry enough to take any work I got and be grateful for it. I just wish my son to be hungry. I don't want anything in the world that takes away that hunger from him, because if he's not hungry, then he should become a monk, and I'm okay with that. But I think when you're satisfied at a very young age with a lot of things that you get, your hunger dies, and that takes away that reason to achieve. And some of us, our whole lives are carved out of it. The second thing I'd want him to be is happy. And that can come out of doing nothing in life as long as he can support himself, or doing everything in his life that's out of working the day and night. Like I said, I'm actually the queen of excess. And I think if excesses is your thing, then be that. Know the beast you want, and whatever actually makes you tick.
Nice. And Pinky, what about you? What do you?
Vinita, I must add, she has given life to, I don't know how many older senior citizens of our country, or even all the ladies in our country. I always say, Ekta, my mom, she always says, I would have died if I didn't have Ekta's shows. Because I think there was a stage of some people's lives that all they could do is watch your shows. You just got them used to their couch and their lifestyle. You made them that, like, one lockdown, everybody would be stuck inside their house watching Balaji TV shows. So Ekta, you've done your social work and you've done this for people. You know that?
Well, actually, that
was when I was without a family, very young, 18, 19 something, and now I'm doing lots of sexual edgy shows, when at my age people should be doing family shows. I've not followed any norm,
That is the speciality of Ekta Kapoor. She never follows. She has the fire.
Yeah. And Pinky, you have now led me into Ekta's second question, and you've answered part of it.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. No problem. Ekta, I guess success came too early to you. Do you think it came too early to you? Do you think it was a disadvantage, or was it?
In life is not a bunch of disadvantages or advantages. Every blessing is a curse and every curse is a blessing. So it's just the way it is, and it's the way you look at that. If I can look at it as an adversity or an opportunity. I learned young, because of which I learned too many things young. I got stabbed in the back too young. I grew up too fast. I grew out of things too fast, and then I matured probably younger than other people would. I did the whole cycle by the time I reached here. So people ask me, how come you're passionate about your work and dispassionate about your outcome? I said, I've had 25 years in my 45 years of age and 2 years before that of work. So 27 years of working and 25 years of Balaji. So I've learned it young, and I don't know if it's an advantage or disadvantage, but if I had to ever write anything on my epitaph, it would be too much too soon.
Okay, I mean, I think that really says it all. But Ekta, you have done a hell of a lot. You've given us 250, 60 serials. Some of them ran unheard of 1,000 episodes. You have an OTT platform now. I mean, you have so many movies that are, in production. I think some 90 or 100 movies that are in production.
No. 5 movies in production, 48 produced.
Produced, okay. I mean, for me, I mean, that is a lot of things on your plate. So what is in store for you for the next 10 years? Have you done it all? Or who is Ekta 2.0?
So, when I started this year, I can't believe I spent 70,000 bucks to buy my tickets and go for a holiday to bring in 2020. I mean, if I, at this point, decide to say what I'm going to imagine myself to be in the next 10 years, I would rely a lot on the power of imagination. But I think I would hope, so I'm using the word hope, I would hope to be a better version of myself. Some of us think that capitalists or, entrepreneurs are money hungry. And that's not true. Most of us actually in life are hungry for success, and money is the currency for that. And I hope to eventually take on philanthropy in a serious way. I hope to do better, because for me, earning money is important, not spending. So I actually hope to find an upgrade every year, not 10 years only. I mean, we upgrade our phones every year, why can't we upgrade ourselves, So I hope to be a far more mentoring kind of person, who is accepting of failures, a far more balanced person, not in the sense that you're thinking. Balanced as in, I want to be far more comfortable in my skin. I think I've reached about 70%. I need to reach 100% to actually own the person I am fully.
Nice. And, we are a very large women's organization. And I mean, you're so successful. Pinky is such a role model to so many women. Pinky, what is your view on mentorship? And did you have one?
Membership or mentorship?
Mentorship, a mentor.
I think having a mentor is very, very important. And my mentor was my dad. He really used to always give me the right guidance, the way you should be, and stuff like that. And I think I'm like a carbon copy of him. So I just followed whatever he does, and in his charity, and I follow the same. So I think it's very important. You have to have a mentor. You have to focus and follow somebody mentally. Might not be a relation, but anybody to that matter.
Somebody who can maybe give you advice that you require, or
absolutely
answer some questions.
Very important.
Ekta, what about you? Did you have a mentor?
So I didn't have one mentor. I had many people I met through my career who helped me, taught me so much. My mom and I learned through the job. We were very young. But what I realized that as far as mentoring goes, I don't think so much of it is actually a responsibility, and you have to take it on. I mean, I went to Harvard for a small course, and you had this faculty, and they were all people who didn't need the money. They were teachers because they thought that was their job, to give it back to young entrepreneurs. And here I try. I mean, I did these exams where we saw these 50 kids who you be trained as writers. Most of them are big writers today in the industry. Now we at least try to mentor 5 to 10 girls who work with me. Then each of my creatives have 4-5 new kids. The only thing I ask girls is that I don't want to hear this one line from you, that I'm getting married, so I'm giving up my job. You can work here, you can work in somebody else's office, you can work anywhere. But I'm not going to waste 4 years of my life on you if tomorrow you tell me that I'm going to give it up because I'm getting married. Your marriage and your job life are two different things and they have to parallel exist. That's the only condition I have when I decide to take a kid on.
Okay, fair enough.
That's
Pinky, do you have a message for all the viewers out there today?
I think the message I would say is that just believe in yourself, just be calm, just be happy, don't be negative, don't be stressed. You know, the more you think like that, it makes you also become a negative person. Just say, okay, things are happening this way, there's a reason for everything. Even for the lockdown, there's so many people who are going through a lot of mental stress. See, I was just telling you in the lighter note that I'm enjoying myself, but I've been hearing a lot. You know, my foundation we've started a helpline. I've partnered with another CSR body, and you know, there are a whole bunch of ISB graduates and a lot of doctors and psychiatrists. So I've funded them, my foundation has, and we really needed to do that because, you know, there's so many people. We are so fortunate, Vinita, that we have families, we have children with us. There's so many people, they're old couples alone, they're young couples alone, they don't have some people are single, they don't know whom to talk to. So, you know, per day we get like a couple of 100 phone calls. And, you know, some people just, they're panicking, they're stressing, what's going to happen? They don't know what, you know, one man calls up slyly without the wife knowing, saying, oh, you know, my wife is coughing a lot. Do I need to do something? You know, there's a lot of scare and
There's a lot of panic.
Lot of panic happening. So I feel good, even though I was in this lockdown, I could contribute and get something done like this. And this helpline has really made me feel very happy.
I'm so glad to hear. This is a big thing to mental wellness for people during.
Yeah, because a lot of people are going through a lot of stress, It's really sad about that. And I think everybody's discovering a lot about themselves. And, you know, there's a lot of happiness and a lot of negative things also happening. Like for my 50th birthday, you know, how, as you say, you plan so much and it doesn't happen the way you plan. And my husband actually was so sweet, something new which I learned. This is my first time I had a Zoom party for my birthday. I had met so many of my friends on Zoom. So that really gave me a smile on my face on my birthday. So
I think those are the small things we have to thank COVID for. We all became digitally savvy in a flash.
Completely, absolutely.
Some of us who were not. Now I'm on my last question, which is for Ekta. Ekta, if you had India's attention for 30 seconds, what would you say?
Temples are shut, mosques are shut, churches are shut. God's on a break. Humanity has to stand up and help themselves and help each other.
Absolutely. That's a good one.
Oh God, how good we are. Beyond praying comes karma.
Yeah.
All right. So this
And
was...
God is saying, okay, I'm not minding y'all, you'll better mind yourselves.
Thank you so much, the two of you. You've been so scintillating and free in your conversation. And don't think you're going away just yet, because I'm going to hand over to Malu. I think there have been questions pouring in on YouTube. I can see them myself. So just give us a little bit more of your time. But from me, thank you, Ekta, and thank you, Pinky.
Thank you so much. It was very lovely. You know, I just realized, Vinita, this is another change in me. I came on I sat in front of the iPad and I realized, oh God, I didn't wear earrings.
Perfectly all right.
I can't imagine coming for a flow event without wearing earrings.
No worries. Okay, over to you, Malu.
Thank you, Vinita. Fabulous session, Ekta and Pinky. Lots of takeaways for us. For me, especially when Ekta said it's okay to be imperfect, I think it's fabulous because women in general tend to be very hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
We go down to the details and sometimes we lose out because of that. So thank you so much for telling us that it is okay to be imperfect. And Pinky, with COVID, it's a big pause. Yes, it is. A lot of times we tell ourselves, we'll probably do this when we retire. We always postpone things. I think this is a natural pause for all of us. And I guess live for the moment is the theme that we all have to listen to. Thank you so much. And as Vinita was saying, lots of questions pouring in, and we would really love you to answer a few. Janavi, I think you would like to ask a question.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that. And thanks, Vinita, for a very interesting moderation. Enjoyed listening to all of you. Ekta, I have a question for you. You've done a tremendous amount of work. How many other stories of women are you going to do? Are you satisfied with what you've done so far? You need to do a lot more.
I actually think that before we started television, there were very strongly male narratives. Television, however criticized it's been for being regressive, started the female narrative. And it is something that no one else can take credit for. There are no films before a certain era which were dealing with the stories about women. Television did that and gave the remote to the woman. We almost used to cast the boys like good-looking boys, what women would want to see, but the story will be about the woman. It was exactly the opposite. But there were lots of stories we couldn't tell on television because women and men are very adverse to seeing radical stories about women. I mean, they can see stories about women standing up, but they always want them to be on a pedestal. And imperfection was something I was dying to show. So the digital world, dirty picture, there were lots of stories I told. I told stories about women who were even okay about their own sexuality. And I'm thinking we're just beginning. We're about to accept our imperfections. So the stories are just beginning. It took us time to push the envelope because where we came from, women didn't have stories. Then they went into having their stories. Then it was stories about women who've achieved. Then it was stories about women who haven't achieved. Now it's about women who have so many sexual and otherwise imperfections, perfections, habits. We're not putting them in boxes anymore. And it's just beginning, I think.
Yes, absolutely. And you are just in your 40s. We are looking forward to many, many years of you being the voice for the Indian women.
I hope so.
Yeah, and don't forget Eastern India, Ekta. We need to set your eyes to a world beyond Delhi to the east as well. So I speak for the whole of the country, of course, and all my members are, enjoying this throughout. But there's stories from so many corners of the world that only you can bring forward.
We'll do our best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, hang on. No, Ekta, you're not going. Please, two or three more questions, please. I think Kiran Gera has a question to ask.
Yeah. Hi, Ekta. I'm Kiran. Good to see you. And I want to say 2-3 quick things. One, you really look young. I mean, I don't know how much. You're looking like a young 18-year-old to me right now. It's amazing.
In 8 days, I turned 45.
I know, but you're very, very, you're handling it extremely well. I don't say these things, it's too personal, but I'm saying it to you. It's really, you look like a young girl. You look like my niece, who's about 22 years old. One, two. I loved what you said, which is a little thing that I caught on when you said, yeah, I put the good looking men, but I said, hey, the stories are about women. I love that. Go for it.
Thank you.
Third is about your, not about you because you've heard so much about you, but something that I wanted to share with you that Bombay wanted to do a program on, the COVID and what was going to happen to the film and television industry.
Sure.
So with so many things under production, what do you think is going to happen? How are you going to shoot? How are people going to come? What are the various caveats that you'll have? Is it not going to affect your production as well as the viewership of your film? It's an industry question. We are a chamber of commerce.
Yes, of course. So there are various discussions. SOPs are being made so that we have a plan so that if ever shooting begins, we also have to see that COVID is such a highly infectious illness, that there will be a few adversities, and are we okay with that, not okay with that? At the same time, letting a whole industry quiet and having so many people out of work, that itself every day is a ticking bomb, because like you said, people sit at home, frustration, some people are living in such small homes. Every day they used to go to work, financially be independent. When that's not happening, it's affecting not only the economy, it's affecting every home. So the two sides of discussion, and it's like weighing the wrongs from the wrongs. Or they're not two rights, they're two wrongs. I mean, you put 25 or 30 people, even in hazmat suits, at a job, and you're still going to be putting somebody at risk. And you put a whole industry out of work, and you're still going to be putting people at risk. So which risk is better, and how do you de-risk as much as you can, is what's happening in this moment. That's the passive aggression I was talking about. The aggression of the leader, or at least what people in my company are looking at to come up with answers. They need to work. They need to be out there, and I need to protect them and their lives. And
Thank
their
you.
lives.
Thank you so much. Pinky, I also wanted to ask you one question, if I may, about industry. How are you guys coping with all that's happening at the airports? Is the government reaching out to you for some help, or are they messing it up all on their own?
I think we are coping like how each and everyone is coping in every different, even a chai wala is coping the same way we are coping. So I think we're all in the same boat. So I think let's cross our fingers and just hope for the world to open up and things to get better. All of
Thank
us are
you
in
so
the same.
much. Thanks, Pinky.
Thank you. Ekta, just one last question, please. This is from me. In a recent interview, you stated that the mind wants adventure, but the heart wants stability. So have you managed to find a balance between the two?
No, life is anyway not about balance. I'll keep on chasing adventure, but I'll keep on roots and wings. They're two sides of a person, I mean, I would want to eventually come back home. So I search for my home, which is now my son.
Yeah.
And I yet want to fly and become a global storyteller. So both sides of me are both areas of some kind of peace. The chaos, the yin and yang,
Correct.
it's a constant search, and I don't have any balance in it. So there would be some years I would just want to be at home, and some years I just want to be out.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. We could go on and on, but I guess all good things come to an end. I would like Lubena, a senior vice chair, to wrap it up. Lubena?
One thing I want to give a message to everybody. I think this is the time to declutter. I think everybody should just declutter themselves. I think it feels so good. I've been doing that. I've been cleaning up my house and just decluttering myself. So, and my brain and my home.
Yeah.
That's my message for everybody. It feels good.
Thank you.
Can I take
Lubena?
over now, Manu?
Yes. Yes, Luben.
I'm going to wrap it up now. Hi, everyone. I'm Lubaina Shapurwala. I'm here to say what we've all been wanting to say all along. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vinisha, for always being there, guiding us while planning this event for the AMCHI Mumbai chapter. Thank you, Ekta and Pinky, for taking us out of what I can only assume is a super busy lockdown life at the moment. Thank you, our National President, Jahnavi Phukan. Thank you, our past chairs, GB, other 16 floor chapters, and our Mumbai team for making this evening even more memorable with your presence. And lastly, but not in the tiniest bit leastly, thank you, Gaurav and the FICCI IT team. Thank you for organizing this whole event for us. Bye, guys. Everybody have a wonderful evening.
Everyone, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We had a wonderful time.
Thank you,
Gaurav,
Pinky.
you get us on YouTube, please, Gaurav. Maybe you can keep this the Zoom link on and get us off YouTube.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Gaurav, you can get us off YouTube. We don't want this to.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies. Pinky,
Are you happy with the whole thing?
it just flew by. I looked at my watch and I said 35 minutes. I was supposed to take 20 in my mind.
Gaurav ji, can we have us off YouTube? Vinita, you're still streaming on YouTube.
Oh, very nice.